What's good, everybody? All right, so last night I went out to dinner with a couple of my friends, my boys, and mainly a business meeting, but also just to catch up too. And you know, on the way home, one of my friends was like, kind of, I wouldn't say he was like stressing out, right? But he was kind of concerned because he wanted to drop something off at his girlfriend's house. Right? It was a sound bar, and he, like I said, he wasn't stressing out, but he was kind of just like, he had some thoughts in his that crept up into his brain because he had called her and she didn't pick up the phone. It's about 10 o'clock, 10:15, I think it was, and you know, he just he had a concern. He's like, man, what did he say? He's like, man, um, now I got shit creeping up in my mind now, and I'm like, what? So I had to kind of explain to him a couple things. He already knew, but you know, I just basically just told him, look, man, men and women are different. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta stress about her. From what you described to me about how she is, man, she's loyal. She's a good woman. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta worry about shit. You know, she just fell asleep. That's it. And he's like, oh, all right, tell me more, man. Tell me more. Why did he come to this conclusion? And I just said, look, man. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta be worrying about your woman, messing around on you or anything like that. Like, first off, I told him straight. I said, guys like us, our women don't, women don't mess around on guys like us. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. You know. And when I say guys like us, it basically just means that um, we are both quite strong in who we are. We have purpose. We attack every day like it's our last. Um, you know, we're emotionally available for our women. We solve their problems every day. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not like neglectful in any way. Um, Things of that nature, right? We make our women feel safe. You understand? So, you know, I've never been in a position, touch wood, you know, where a woman has cheated on me or anything like that or messed around. Not that I know of anyway. But, I can say that I'm pretty confident in knowing that a woman just won't, cross those lines with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot of experience and, you know, um, I just know. You, you just kind of know, right? And at the end of the day, when it comes to the real differences between men and women, there's a lot of differences, right? Obviously. But, you know, keep this in mind, right? Women generally need to be checked out of the relationship in order to mess around on you. You know what I mean? Because women need trust. They need a bond with a guy before having sex with him and stuff like that. So generally, not all. You know what I'm saying? You got a few hoes out there, but you know most women need an emotional connection. Okay, and if they're already with somebody that they're emotionally connected with, and they feel safe with, and they got a good bond with and stuff like that, why the hell are they gonna be looking elsewhere? That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So keep that in mind, man. A woman generally needs to be checked out of the relationship before she messes around on the current guy she's with. And it usually, you know, is over time. It's not like overnight. It takes time for that to happen. And you'll know the signs. You'll probably have the conversations with her and stuff like that. And she'll probably express to you why she's unhappy and things like that. That's obviously if you got a good woman, right? Especially a woman that cares and that is loyal and all of that, and she's down for you, right? And this guy, he's a strong, intelligent, charismatic guy. You know what I'm saying? And he had that concern. So at first I thought he was kind of messing around. At first I was like, what? Like I never thought of you to be like I'm thinking this, right? I'm thinking I never thought of you to be like this, you know. But then when I expressed it to him, he's driving, right? And he's fully like, giving, shaking my hand. Thank you, man. Exactly the words I needed to hear, and I was like, okay, cool, man. I felt good in helping him out. You know what I mean? But it definitely is an eye opener, because I guess a lot of guys would be thinking like this. And you know what? I don't can't recall thinking like that. Maybe when I was a lot younger, maybe. If a girl didn't answer her phone, some thoughts would creep in. But yeah, generally, nah, I don't think like that. She just wanted to get some sleep. Women generally need more sleep than men do, so they say. So I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe someone can correct me on that. you know, but generally, man, like I said, man, there's a lot of differences between men and women. That is one of them. A man can have sex without an emotional attachment and do it very easily, right? A guy can have an emotional attachment with one woman and then go and cheat or mess around with another one very easily, right? Whereas a woman, it's very hard to do that for her. Generally, there's a lot of differences between men and women. I'm not obviously going to get into all of them in this video, but that's one of them. And it's something to definitely consider, right? Women need more time. They need more energy. They need more of your emotional connection. And generally, it might just be that she just wants you to listen to her and hear her out and feel like she's heard. Because if she feels like she's heard, right, she feels an emotional connection with you. If she's talking and you're trying to express something to you and you're not really listening to her, or you're not present, maybe you're doing something else or you're ignoring her or whatever, she won't feel heard, so she won't feel connected to you. So you have to pretty much show her that you're listening to her, you're taking into consideration everything she's saying, you're present. You know what I mean? And you're still and you're quiet. You know what I mean? So she feels like she's emotionally safe, like she can confide in you. Because there's a lot that goes on in a woman's mind. A lot. Their brains are working overtime sometimes. Because it's all about survival. Think of a rabbit. You know what I'm saying? Think of a rabbit. A rabbit's all looking around like eating grass and carrots and shit. It's looking around. You know what I mean? Because it's scared. It's like, am I going to get eaten? Is there something hunting me right now? What's that noise? They got to be alert. You know what I'm saying? They got to be alert. Whereas a lion or a wolf, yes, they got to be alert, right? But they got to be attentive. You know what I'm saying? They got to be quiet, chill, unmovable. You know what I mean? If something tries to shake him up a little bit, he can't move because he's like ready to, take the final blow. You know what I mean? Or make that striking attack. That one-shot blow, the kill blow. I'll tell you what, a lion would rather take a one-shot kill strike than sit there and have a crazy long-winded battle. You know what I mean? He just wants to get it over with and take the kill. You know what I'm saying? That's what a man's got to be like. You know what I mean? That's masculine energy. All right. So yeah, look, I hope hope anybody gets some value from this. Definitely like the video, share it with your boys, share it with your ladies. If you're a girl watching this, a lady watching this, you know what I mean? Share it around. Subscribe to the channel because I got a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be putting out in the future. Like I just got this channel started a month or two. So yeah, definitely going to be developing a lot more, as time moves on. So definitely, go and check out past videos, and I hope you get something out of it. All right, peace.